Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And this time, reviewing another movie, which it's already been 5 years now. This came out in 2015. I did give a watch. I did get this a watch it in the theater because I was curious because the premise of the movie, the idea of it. But saw it, and 5 years later, my feelings are still the same, and I'm just like I'm not a fan of this film. Although it didn't piss me off for like other films that I've reviewed. I'm not full on angry. I just wasn't a fan of it. This is my normal reaction to the film. Just not a fan of it. But the film we'll talk about today, which although there's two pauses why I kept on going and watching this film for. So the film we're reviewing today I'll put this as a review / rant because, like I said, the reason why I keep watching because first of all I'm a fan of this actor, both these actors. So I would say it's a review / rant, and that is of Run All Night. As said, starring Liam Neeson, Ed Harris, which both actors I enjoy. This is one of the reasons why I kept on watching, because I enjoy Liam Neeson as an actor, and same I enjoy with Ed Harris. Two really good actors. And the thing is this is the same director who has collaborated 4 times with Liam Neeson, and this is a director I liked. Jaume Collet-Serra. Yeah, this film was directed by Jaume Collet-Serra, which I reviewed some of his films. I love Nonstop, which is also Liam Neeson. This came out in 2015. 3 years later, in 2018, he directed The Commuter with Liam Neeson, which I like. Couple issues though, but overall I liked it. I overall liked The Commuter. Then this film, and then before that, 2011, he directed also with Liam Neeson with Unknown, which I would say I was also not a fan of either, though. So I was not a fan of Unknown, though. But the other films that Jaume Collet-Serra has directed, I liked. I enjoyed The Shallows with Blake Lively. That was a really great shark film from 2016. I enjoyed The Shallows. I was gonna say Shallows, but Shallows. That was a really good shark film. I like Orphan, which was with its cool. I thought it was a cool twist in the end. I'll have to review that sometime. But I liked Orphan, and then long ago I reviewed it. But I love the House of Wax. I've talked about House of Wax plenty of times. I love the House of Wax, the 2005 remake of House of Wax. And not that long ago, I got the poster of House of Wax. I love House of Wax. That's one of the most underrated horror remakes. I love that film. My brother loves House of Wax. I really highly enjoy House of Wax. That's an underrated horror remake. Love House of Wax. Is the reason why I keep saying love, because I really love that remake of House of Wax. I think it's a very underrated remake. And so yeah, but the guy has like I said, wasn't a fan of Unknown. But like I say, I wasn't overall a fan of this film either, though. I like Jaume Collet-Serra most of his movies, but I was not a fan of this film. Overall, a fan of this film. But I kept on watch because I like Liam Neeson and I like Ed Harris. But and then one issue of this though is you have Joel Kinnaman, who started in that atrocious remake of RoboCop, which he was Murphy in RoboCop. He played Murphy in RoboCop, the 2014 remake. An atrocious remake, an insult as a fan of the original RoboCop. Yeah, so Joel Kinnaman, he plays from the RoboCop remake. And he also starred in Suicide Squad as Rick Flag. I was not a fan of Suicide Squad either. Well, the reason why I kept watching because I liked Will Smith as Deadshot and Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. That was it. Those two were the only good things in Suicide Squad. The rest of the film I didn't care for. I did not like Joel Kinnaman at all. So overall, yeah, like I say I'm not a fan of Joel Kinnaman as an actor. Although it was cool to see Common in there, which later he went had that cool fight with Keanu Reeves in John Wick 2. I kind of think that he also was also in Suicide Squad for that one cameo where he was like talking with a Joker, and you know, Joker wanted Harley Quinn to be go with Common, and Common is like, no, she's your lady, you know, she's your lady and yours. And then of course for some reason, of course, the Joker just goes and kills him just for that. So yeah, even Common had a cameo in that film. But yeah, I did not mind Common. He's like this like merciless hitman, you know, and yeah, it's just, I was such a not a fan of. That's one issue I have with the film. But the premise of the movie is you have Liam Neeson, who he's like a former hitman, I believe, for some kind of for a mob. Was it Irish? Because Irish mob, I think. He was a former hitman. He did some things because Vincent D'Onofrio was also in this. He's a detective in this. He's been asking Liam Neeson about the list of names that got killed some years back, which he was involved in, and he wants those listed names. Yeah, probably I'm going because this film made me put to sleep. But Liam Neeson, you know, because of this, you know, his career's been gone, and he's an alcoholic. He drinks a lot, and his son, Joel Kinnaman plays as his son. He wants nothing to do with him. He hates him. Basically, and he also has a family as well, so he doesn't want his kids like to know about their grandfather. So he hates his dad that much. He doesn't want him nothing to do with his family. And there was also good moments because a couple of moments were with Liam Neeson and Ed Harris because they were buddies from back then as well. And like Ramon when because Ed Harris also has a son, and he also has a son, which also another character is Boyd Holbrook, played by Boyd Holbrook, which he was in Logan. He was the guy. He was the mercenary with the robotic arm. I did not care for him either, and he was also in The Predator. He was the lead guy in The Predator, which did not like either, which also the film I also despise. So yeah, but he plays as the son of Ed Harris, and he tells them to do this one favor for Liam Neeson. So he goes to this Christmas party where Ed Harris is at his house, dresses as Santa Claus. He gets he's drunk and burns his hand. Although I did get a chuckle. I admit I did get a chuckle when he burned his hand, and he's like cussing, especially in front of the kids. He's like, "Oh shit, fuck," you know, because he was drunk and he burned his hand. And it was like I was like cursing in front of the kids. I will admit I did get a chuckle out of that though, but then he has a moment with Ed Harris, you know, when he took care of him, like give him a bed and to let him rest and all that, and how they're sharing a little bit of their history back then. And with Ed Harris, he also used to be he was a former mob boss, but because he wanted to be out of the business because he wanted to go straight and be out of that business because he told his son off that he had these ships of cocaine and all that stuff, and Ed Harris says, "No, I'm out of that business and going straight." And Boyd Holbrook, the son of Ed Harris, he had these Albanian boys. I think they were Albanian. I think they were these Albanian mob bosses. He owed money to, and also going back with Joe Kinnaman, the son of Liam Neeson. This is hard to watch because I'm not a fan of Joel Kinnaman. I'm not. But he does a little bit of boxing too, but his job is a chauffeur. He was driving those Albanian bosses around to Boyd Holbrook's place, and Boyd Holbrook kills them. Joel Kinnaman witnesses this, and Boyd Holbrook tries to kill him. He gets away though, and there was even this little kid that Joel Kinnaman was kind of like his friend who watches him box and all that, trains. He videotape recorded it also as well, but he didn't see him though. So but he goes on to Joel Kinnaman, goes to his house, tries to kill him, but Liam Neeson shoots Boyd Holbrook, which he found that's Ed Harris's son. He calls Ed Harris. Tells but he shot his son, and then this was sets off the whole rest of the movie because Liam Neeson, he knows who's in the law enforcement or not, because he tells his son that there's a lot of dirty cops in this. That's not a good idea, but he doesn't listen though. So he does call the cops, and there were some cops we saw earlier. They're dirty cops, take him in, framing him for the murder, and Liam Neeson saves him, takes those dirty cops out, smashes the car, and tells them, you're gonna survive. Listen to your dad for once. So he does, and then gets in this fight with this one other cop in the bathroom. Smashes him, hits him, a little bit of fisticuffs. At a moment where he talks to Ed Harris in a restaurant, explaining that, I'm gonna come with you, everything I got and all that. Well, unfortunately, it's his son it was all his son's fault because he tried to kill his son. But with sometimes it's act of vengeance. So, so he has all this. He's gonna have all these cops come and get him. But honestly, he didn't meet too many anyone who else worked for. Because you think all this was spread out throughout New York. You think that he had hunt or have literally everyone hunt Liam Neeson and Joel Kinnaman down though. But there wasn't that much though, surprisingly. Although he hires this merciless hitman played by Kinnaman, which he is kind of like a cold-hearted, merciless person. Because he kills a couple of he even killed a couple of innocent cops as well. So it shows how cold and merciful he is. And tracks him down to this apartment complex to find out that one kid who recorded that video, and when the place is burning. Liam Neeson fights Kinnaman, burns his face a little bit decent decent stunt stuff, in where the place is burning all around. And then until final end of, or there's a point where Liam Neeson goes to see Nick Nolte. So yeah, Nick Nolte has a cameo in this where he holds up for a little bit and tells him about what happened, and just when Joel Kinnaman got upset about those people, about those list of names he kept. So Joel Kinnaman goes to see his family out in the cabin, and then Liam Neeson finally gets to meet his grandkids. And but Kinnaman is right behind them. Liam Neeson gets shot. He's bleeding out, and while Joel Kinnaman gets his family out running in the woods, and Kinnaman is following them. Oh, before that, however, I mentioned I skipped the whole scene here. But with Ed Harris, Liam Neeson just goes screw it. He just goes right to the bar, shoots all the dirty cops, including Bruce McGill, which that's another actor you probably recognize. He's been in some other films as well. Bruce McGill, he was in in Last Boy Scout, Law Abiding Citizen. He's been in some other movies as well. Bruce McGill shoots him. And then he goes, and then Liam Neeson goes after Ed Harris, and then shoots him and dies in his arms. And then is when it goes back when it Kinnaman out in the woods. And so he's going after Joel Kinnaman, and then Liam Neeson gets his rifle just as he's bleeding out, and I thought it was a decent looking shot where he cocks his gun up and then shoots Common in the head, and then Joel Kinnaman finally goes up just when up to his dad just before he dies, just for when he had that list of names, and just dies in his son's arms, and that's when Vincent D'Onofrio arrives. And so later, and it's now a short time afterwards, and then finally, Joel Kinnaman had that he had his kids made this little combination picture of family pictures, and Joel Kinnaman originally he was not gonna put that picture with him as a kid with his dad. He was not gonna put that in there, cover it up, his dad part though, but he finally put that full picture in there with his dad. Because he was a guy who just made some terrible mistakes though, but it doesn't mean you go and hate the guy forever. Because he's your dad though. So he finally included that picture of him and his dad. So Ronald Knight. I mean, I thought the acting, especially from Liam Neeson and Ed Harris, I thought they did a good job. Because I enjoy Liam Neeson, because I don't think Liam Neeson hardly gives a bad performance, especially if it's films I don't like though. But I thought Liam Neeson, he did a good job. Ed Harris, I thought he did a good job. Joel Kinnaman, I don't. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of him. I thought he, like the other roles he starred in, to me, he had no energy. That's what I'm trying to say. He's an actor. I think he had no energy in it. Especially when he started the RoboCop remake and Suicide Squad. He has no energy to him. That's one issue I have. I'm not a fan of Joel Kinnaman. Common, I thought he was like how his character was. I thought it was decent as well. The other characters, like I said, it was cool to see Nick Nolte, Bruce McGilly. Like I said, has a little role in this. He was like Ed Harris's right hand guy. Vincent D'Onofrio as the detective. He pops in it every now and then, asking Liam Neeson about the list of names. As for acting, like for action stuff, like you get a couple of fisticuffs, like the one cop in the bathroom, and then fight with Common in the burning building. The score, I thought by what was it? Junkie XL. The score by Junkie XL. I thought it was like meh score. And the thing is, the director, with Liam Neeson, I think I'd rather watch the Commuter better, or especially Nonstop. That's much better, twice as better, I would say. I really enjoy Nonstop. But I'd rather watch House of Wax, The Shallows, Orphan. Although maybe I put it slightly above Unknown though, but it's not saying much. But I was not particularly a fan. That's just That's like that. That's the normal. That's my thoughts on it. It's just I'm not fully on enraged on this. Yeah, it didn't make me mad at all, but I just like it's a film I just not a fan of. That's all. Just honestly don't care for. But Liam Neeson, he's not the problem, or nor was Ed Harris. But I did not like Joel Kinnaman at all. The premise I like though, basically run all night though. But if Ed Harris was this big time cop and all that stuff, or had everyone getting everybody to go after the two, didn't seem like literally not everybody, which how about like the ending of John Wick 2 basically. When at the end of the movie, when John Wick, when that bounty is going to be on him, he's on the run, right? And then literally everyone is on their cell phone is receiving the message of John Wick's bounty. It's like literally everybody in New York is an assassin. If Ed Harris was that big of authority on this, why couldn't he say everybody, literally everybody, go after Liam Neeson and Joel Kinnaman? Just be like the ending of John Wick 2, you know, it's like literally everybody is an assassin. Because you have all the cell phones ringing. Whoever has a cell phone that's ringing, that's an assassin. It was like literally everybody in that park when Ian McShane told everybody to walk away. That was like literally like 50 people in that one park alone. Imagine all over the world. So why couldn't like have like literally have everybody go after Liam Neeson and Joel Kinnaman? To me, like they were just holding back on the people. I mean, yeah, you could have like everybody go after these two, and that was it though. But hey, what do I know though? But I think that's another thing is the script by Brad Ingelsby, mispronounced that name. Yeah, written by Brad Miguelsley. I think that was lacking. I think it was the script was lacking. But yeah, the only thing I kept on watching because of Liam Neeson and Ed Harris. But like I said, Joel Kinnaman, the lacking in the script and score is like it was nothing to run home about. It was a meh score. It was nice. It was nice to see Nick Nolte though, but yeah. It was just not enough substance to keep me entertained. I mean, the action sequences, there were like some typical stuff we haven't seen before. You know, fisticuffs, or it wasn't nothing special with the fisticuff fights and a car crash here and there. So yeah, this was not new. It wasn't nothing special. So there was nothing for me to run home about. Yeah, see what I did there. Nothing to run home about. Yeah, run all night, run home about. so yeah, this is my thoughts on Run All Night. I mean, the director has done better, but Liam Neeson's done better though. Well, I'd rather watch Nonstop or The Commuter. If you want to involve Liam Neeson and the director, I'd rather watch The Commuter or Nonstop. Or as for the directors, I'd rather watch The Shallows. I'd rather watch House of Wax, Orphan. But as I was Unknown with Liam Neeson, I was not a fan of either. So, and plus the film got mixed reception. It has a 59% Rotten Tomatoes. Is a 6.6 on IMDb though, but it's a 59% Rotten Tomatoes, and the film didn't do that well box office wise. It opened up in second place behind the Cinderella 2015 remake of Cinderella. Domestically made about 20-some million, worldwide 70 million on a budget of 50 million. Yeah, it didn't do that well. But yeah, it's just no, I wasn't a fan of though. But yeah, so that's my review / rant on Run All Night. Like I said, it's not a full on rant. That's made me pissed up to the next level. I just wasn't a fan of. I've seen better action films or better Liam Neeson movies or other films with Ed Harris. But anyway, that's my thoughts on Run All Night. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next movie review. Later.